Hello friends, welcome back to my tiny kitchen. I am Quintana here with another recipe to share with you. And this week's recipe was actually a suggestion from my girl Dina, so I'm very excited to try it. It is 1 skillet Greek meatballs and lemon butter orzo, which already that sounds delicious. And it's actually from Half Baked Harvest, which you can follow them on Instagram. She also has a website. She always has delicious looking recipes, so I'm really excited to try this one. And while reading through the recipe, I'm not going to make it the way she has the steps, just because I feel like the way that I'm going to show you is going to be a little bit easier, at least for me when I'm preparing. I'm going to show you the way that I'm going to make it. That's going to be a little bit easier for me. So that being said, let's get started. Now it's time to make the whipped feta, and that just sounds delicious to me. So I have my food processor ready to go, and to that we are going to add our 8 ounces of feta cheese. Then we add our 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt, and finally 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And now it's time to process, baby! This is it, our beautiful whipped feta, which she said it will stay about up to 5 days refrigerated. I don't know if it'll last that long though. Now, moving on. Okay, now we are going to make our sun-dried tomato vinaigrette. Doesn't that already sound delicious? So what we're gonna do is we're going to add 1/4 cup of the reserved sun-dried tomato oil, 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, and we're going to whisk this together until it's all combined. And once that is all combined, we're going to stir in our sun-dried tomatoes, 1 tablespoon of the chopped dill, and then we're going to season it with salt, pepper, and some red pepper flakes. I like some heat. And as you know, a good chef will always taste along the way to make sure the seasonings are on point. So let's... Okay, now that is very good. So now we're gonna set that aside and continue on. All right, so now we have our beautiful, delicious organic ground chicken, 1 pound. And to that, I'm going to add my shallot, garlic, and of course the recipe her recipe called for 2 cloves, but you know, if you're gonna use 2, you might as well double it. And then my favorite number is 5. So, you know, 5 cloves of garlic, because I like garlic. And oregano, the smoked paprika, salt, pepper, and red pepper flakes. So we're gonna add that to our chicken. And then I'm going to coat my hands with olive oil. She also knows that trick. And then we're just gonna make, this is supposed to make about 14 to 15 meatballs. So I'm gonna do that. So let's do that. All right, so now I have my cast iron skillet heating over a medium-high heat, and to that we are going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. See, it's starting to shimmer a little bit, so now we're going to add our meatballs. Okay, now to that same skillet, we are going to add our 2 tablespoons of butter. And it says to add the lemon slices and the butter at the same time, but I kind of feel like I want the butter to melt a little bit more. So I'm gonna wait for the butter to melt a little bit more. Okay, so the butter's pretty much melted, so now I'm gonna add our lemon slices. Because you want to sear them until they're golden on each side about 1 minute. So I'm going to hold it on. And now I'm going to remove these and put them on the plate with the meatballs. Now to this skillet, we're going to add the orzo, and we want to toast it. Now, the recipe called to add the garlic at the same time as the orzo and toast it for about 2 to 3 minutes, but you don't want to cook garlic that long, at least I don't. So I'm going to add garlic kind of at the very end of the 2 to 3 minutes and let that just get fragrant for about 30 seconds. Now, I know I said orzo, but what I meant was couscous because I didn't have orzo. Now we're going to add 2.5 cups of water and the remaining 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. And we want to bring that to a boil. So we want to stir frequently for about 7 to 8 minutes until the orzo, or in my case, my couscous, becomes al dente. All right, now it is time to slide in the dill and the olives. So let's do that. There are our beautiful olives and dill. We're going to stir that around, and then the next comes the meatballs and lemon slices. We're just going to let this heat up until the meatballs are warmed through again. And it already smells so good. And after this is all warmed through, it's time for the taste test. There we have it, our 1 skillet Greek meatballs with lemon butter orzo, or in my case, couscous. And now, with our favorite taste tester to do the taste testing, Dan.
Alrighty, here we go. Always like a Greek dish. Got a little bit of everything here.
Yes.
Wow, that tastes like a Mediterranean island exploded in my mouth. Like,
wow,
so many flavors. There's tang and texture and robust richness from it all. Oh my goodness. Do I detect olives in there?
You do.
Oh, it's so good.
You have it. There you have it. I think it's a win.
Mm-hmm.
Success. We did it. It's delicious, but a couple of things. First of all, in her recipe, the 2 garlic cloves were supposed to be split between the whole recipe. So 1 clove into the meatballs and 1 clove in with the orzo / couscous. Yeah, right. So 5 garlic cloves went into my meatballs and 3 went into the rest. So that's just my little addition. Also, I did forget, she did suggest to add some arugula to the finished product, and that adds a nice peppery bite. So forgot to do that for the taste test, but definitely don't forget to do that at home. Other than that, it's a delicious, easy, fun recipe to make. 1 skillet, not a lot of cleanup, unless you count the food processor. But I really hope you give it a try because Dina, you're right. It's delicious. I can't wait to have leftovers. I can't wait to have you back in my tiny kitchen again next week for another recipe. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'd love to try them. Until next week, don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends, and spread the word. And I will see you then.